like and subscribe right now, or the spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. There are so many creatures coexisting in the world today, human beings being one of them. Some are bigger in numbers than others, for sure. In this video, though, those aren't exactly the numbers we're going to work with today. The only numbers we're interested in are in terms of time. So, how long have these creatures been on Earth? And how far back do they go? I know you're as curious as I am, so let's dig right into it. Number 1. Giant Chinese salamander, 170 million years old. Jurassic Park may be a fantasy story, but in fact, there are animals from that period that still roam the Earth to this day. The Chinese giant salamander, whose age is estimated 170 million years, is one of them. It's also the largest amphibian in the world. It can even become taller than some people. Sadly, the giant salamander has been hunted to near extinction to supply the luxury food markets in China. Efforts have been made by people who have tried to breed them in captivity to help struggling populations. At least there's some humanity out there. I'm not sure, but I think I'd be hyped if I came across one of these creatures. Only a few would agree with me on this one, but it's okay. Everyone has their taste. Number 2. Jellyfish, 600 to 700 million years old. Honestly, I know this might feel like a SpongeBob episode, but dude, I hate to burst your bubble. These are actual living creatures, jellyfish. Of course, you already knew that. Anyway, these tiny adorable creatures may have a lifespan of between 1 to 5 years, but they're actually really old. This species has been in existence for at least 500 million years, or possibly 700 million years or even more. That's super unbelievable, but true. You have to agree. This makes them the oldest multi-organ animal group ever. SpongeBob and his buddy Patrick must be really into classic stuff and antiques to be head over heels for these creatures. Number 3. Tuatara, 200 million years old. Sure, the Tuatara may look like your everyday lizard, but don't let its looks fool you. First, these creatures closely resemble small dinosaurs. I think it's safe to say that dinosaurs weren't completely extinct, right? Well, leave that to the researchers. The Tuatara is a very rare reptile found only in New Zealand. Interestingly, they're the last reptiles to have existed since the age of the dinosaurs. Today, the Tuatara's body holds clues to this ancient history. Indeed, they precisely have a primary third eye on the top of their heads. It's an ancient light sensor that reptiles use to regulate their daily and seasonal biological functions. However, poaching has been a menacing threat to the existence of these unique ancient creatures. More than 200 million years of existence, only to be wiped out by humans. Really, fellas? Come on! Number 4. Nautilus, 500 million years old. If I'm guessing right, you probably had no idea of the existence of such a creature, yet they've been around for longer than you could imagine. In fact, nautiluses were thought to have been extinct, but were rediscovered in the deep waters recently around 2015, hiding or simply staying away from trouble. These sea creatures have survived the worst extinction events on the planet. They can live up to 100 years. Wow, how cool is that? Wait until you hear this. They're believed to have been extinct over 500 million years ago. Yet, they've been through very little change. Nautiluses are undoubtedly living fossils, and it's pretty cool that they're still around. Number 5. Gariel, 140 million years old. I know what you're thinking. A crocodile made it to the list? Yep. Crocodiles are actually pretty ancient. The Gariel, however, beats other crocodile species when it comes to the prehistoric-looking beauty contest. This isn't the typical crocodile you see on just about any other riverbank out there. Notice the slight difference compared to a normal crocodile. On a lighter note, though, the Gariel is that one family member, a sibling mostly, that just has their own different appearance from the rest. Mostly in a weird way, of course. Apart from that, it may leave your jaw down to learn that these crocs have been roaming the Earth's rivers for over 140 million years. All those years just surviving on fish and basking in the sun, mouth wide open. I should try that and see if it works for me. Number 6. Tadpole Shrimp, 300 million years old. The tadpole shrimp is said to have the oldest pedigree of any living animal. Fossil evidence suggests they've changed little in their time of more than 200 million years of existence. These tiny creatures have quite an unusual life cycle. They live in temporary pools of water in which they lay their eggs, as many as possible. Eventually, as these water pools dry up, the adult shrimp die, but their eggs remain dormant until the pools fill up again. The eggs could remain at this stage for up to 27 years until there's enough water for them to survive and hatch. This survival technique has helped them through the years, nearly 300 million of them. When you come to think of it, it's so mind-blowing that these little creatures, probably without brains, could come up with such a genius way to survive over this harsh and unforgiving planet. Number 7. Shoebill Stork, 160 million years old. This honestly has to be the scariest bird. No one is sure how this creature is related to other birds because it shares characteristics with different living relatives. But one thing scientists agree on is that this is a very old bird. And you've got to agree, it looks the part. Grayish and big-beaked. The fact that they've been around for over 160 million years and can live to about 35 years of age makes it even creepier, for God's sakes. Or is it just me? Don't you think this is a good age for animals, especially birds? I mean, think about this. The average dog will live to be 15 years old. From another perspective, one may think these creatures have some kind of identity crisis due to their quite interesting appearance. It gets more interesting when you learn that they can also be referred to as whaleheads. Imagine putting a whale's head on a bird. Voila! This is what you get, right? These creatures are so old and rare that someone might mistake their photograph for Photoshop or something. Number 8. Sandhill Crane, 10 million years old. These large, beautiful birds have long legs that stick out from their backs while flying, giving them the appearance of a dragon with a pointed tail in the air. While they're common and not often thought of as ancient birds, they actually are. They're said to have been in existence something like 10 million years ago. So much age for a bird, but actually, birds are scientifically proven to date way back before man and dinosaurs roamed the earth. The Sandhill Crane isn't an exception, it's only that it's way older, probably. With their strange and loud noises, these cute birds could be what wakes you up in the morning when they decide to have a full-blown conversation among themselves in your backyard. Honestly, they sound like dinosaurs and are pretty big for a typical bird. I would say human beings should leave these creatures alone to avoid a possible extinction like other birds who are now nowhere to be seen. Number 9. Purple Frog, 130 million years old. At first glance, this little guy might look nothing more than a soft and sticky ball-like thing. But closer inspection definitely reveals that it's considered one of nature's friendliest little survivors. Purple frogs are most commonly found in the Western Ghats, a mountain range in southern India. Their closest family is fossilized 1,900 miles away in the Seychelles, which migrated out of India more than 130 million years ago. These strange-looking amphibians are known to be the sole surviving members of a group of amphibians that evolved more than 130 million years ago. This might explain why it looks so furious at life. Of course, it has nothing to smile about. The little fella lost all of its extended family millions of years ago. Talk about mental torture. Number 10. Bactrian Camel, 40 million years old. You already know one-humped camels were used as transportation in the Middle East before cars existed. But did you know that they evolved from the two-humped Bactrian camel, which still roams the wilds of the Gobi Desert in Mongolia? The evolutionary history of the Bactrian camels dates back to about 40 million years ago. That's way back, even before the ancestors of camels appeared in the North American continent. Bactrian camels are the epitome of a true survivor. These ancient two-humped camels can go for extended periods of time without food or water, and can even withstand nuclear radiation. With such psychic abilities, the human race would be indestructible for sure. Just imagine taking supper once every 3 months, and it feels like nothing. Dude, how cool would that be? A fun fact about this would be that there's actually a festival, the annual Thousand Camels Festival, held in early March in Gobi, Mongolia, where they showcase this world wonder, and you can even do some riding if you wish. Oh man, I'm saving up for Mongolia for sure. Until next time, Adios.